y'all. Welcome to the Honest to Goodness podcast,
where we give you our honest opinions
on good entertainment. I'm Morgan.
I'm Kerri.
I'm Nicole. And without further ado,
here's today's episode.
We hope you enjoy.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Honest to Goodness podcast, where we give you our honest opinions on good entertainment. I'm your host, Kerri, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, Morgan and Nicole. And today we are here to recap Tyler Hynes' new movie, Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. And I think it is safe to say that this movie is in our top 5 for sure. If not, I would say top 3.
Yeah.
Actually, Morgan, I think for me and you, it's top 2. Yeah, but yes, we absolutely loved this movie. And before we actually get into this, I just want to give a shout out to Nicole, because every week she has everything together. We were talking about before we came on, we were talking about our shirts here, which these are from the Hallmarkies podcast. You can go through their Instagram link tree and order those off of TeePublic. And we will definitely, by the time this episode comes out, have merch of our own up, and we'll continue to add to that. And I have mine ordered, Morgan has hers ordered, and we've been picking on Nicole because she does not have any shirts or anything yet. But she may be behind in the merch department, but first of all, she is actually the one creating our merch. So shout out to her for that.
Oh, thank you.
But definitely every week she is the most prepared out of the 3 of us. And she has saved our necks multiple times because she's the one that has notes, and me and Morgan are over here running around like chickens with our heads cut off and can't seem to get notes made. So thank you so much, Nicole, for just everything. I mean, you have been saving this podcast before you ever became a co-host, but definitely since then, she is the VIP of this podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. But we're just gonna jump right into it with this movie. Y'all know, I mean, there is no secret, especially from mine and Morgan's shirts, who our favorite Hallmark guys are. And of course, y'all hear us talk about Kevin McGarry all the time, so y'all know we love Kevin as well. So pretty much,
this is the Tyler and Andrew season. Yes. And then once When Calls the Heart starts up, we'll be back to being all about Kevin again. I promise. It's just like seasons that we go through.
Yes. I will say though, I've pretty much been Tyler even through When Calls the Heart.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler's just my guy. I can't say anything. He is just my favorite. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry, I love you, but sorry.
I love you, Andrew. I love you.
We all love you.
That's what I was thinking to say. We all love you. Oh my gosh. And of course that the incident the other day that cannot be named. If y'all don't watch our lives on Instagram, you're seriously missing out, because they can turn into some really interesting. I mean, that was like beyond interesting. That was crazy.
That was fun, but it was crazy. Like, y'all know I was at my grandmother's house.
Unfair was what it is. Unfair.
Y'all know I was at my grandmother's house, and the internet kept cutting out, and Instagram kept kicking me off. I was getting irritated.
It wouldn't even let me on when it kicked you off. Like, I could have swooped in there when it kicked you off, but no.
And I think the second time it kicked me off, like when I got back on the third time, I saw Andrew was on it. I was like, what?
Yeah, how do you think I felt? I was on the live with her first, and then she tells me she's fixing to get off because she's going to go and get ready for the podcast. So I went and got ready.
I told you to get off. I was already ready.
Oh, and so I got off so I can get ready. Next thing you know, I was finally ready, and so I was getting on the phone to get ready for her to like add me onto the Zoom meeting. And no, I get notifications saying "Honest to Goodness is now live with Andrew Walker," and I'm like, what? 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 I can't hear you.
I said can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I said I love how he just came on and was like, hey girls, what are we talking about? Like just
On his lunch break in his trailer, like just nonchalant, like, hey girls. I'm like,
yes.
yeah,
Oh,
couldn't have
man.
done that like 5 minutes ago whenever I was on the line.
She, as an overall thing, hates us. I will just say.
Can Instagram
Hate is a strong
please
word, even for me.
Can Instagram please update their app where we can have more than 4 people on a live? Like, please.
Thank
Right?
you.
Yeah, since Hallmark seems to be listening to us now, let's see if we can get Instagram's attention.
It would have been really bad though if we actually had like 4 people on live and then like Andrew would try and get on the live and you were just like, who do I kick off?
I think the limit should be 6 because it could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, the limit
Yeah.
should be 6. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right,
I know.
hop to it.
I felt so bad with that,
Yeah.
but I was like, okay, next time, because I didn't just want to kick Dara off. Like, you know, but
No, I would have
like,
felt bad for having her have her kicked off anyways, too. Like, so no.
I know, but still, I like, you know, it's our podcast.
Yeah.
So, you know, between the two of y'all, you should have been the one on there, really. I didn't have a problem with her being there, but like you said, there should be 6 people allowed on a live.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, if this ever happens again, I'm just gonna apologize in advance for what I'm gonna do.
I feel like everyone should understand, like, if a celebrity comes on our live, get off.
Like, it should be 3 of us and then
In a loving way.
Yeah.
Get off the live.
it should be the 3 of us and then whoever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, apologies in advance to anybody who is ever on our live if we ever have something like that happen again, because you're getting kicked off.
No questions asked. Just like, whoop,
Yeah.
hi.
In a loving way.
Yeah, in a loving way.
That could be
Oh,
another
gosh.
t-shirt. Get off the live in a loving way.
Well,
Oh, my word. Okay. All right. Getting to the actual movie. Now that we have gone around
After
the
that
world
long
and back.
rabbit trail.
what was that thing we came up with for a t-shirt before? Or
But
Oh yeah. Thanks for saving our heinies.
no, it wasn't that one. It was something else.
oh, dang it. I still have that recorded. Y'all, we literally had to restart this episode once already because it got so bad.
Oh, I remember it. 3 wise women and a
There we
podcast.
go.
I
There
came
we
up with
go.
that.
3
Yeah,
wise women in a podcast. I
There
love
we
that.
go. There we
I
go.
came up with that because like we brought off the 3 wise women, but I remembered the and a baby, and I was
Yeah.
like, and a podcast. So yeah,
There we go. Yeah.
I feel like that would be good even for like Cammie and Casey and Jess to have like their
exactly. They could wear
For
that
their
for theirs for just
podcast
3
too.
of them. Yeah.
yeah, that is awesome. But yeah, okay, so we've already reviewed 3 wise men and a
Mhm.
baby, which we loved. I mean, what did we say, like 50 out of 5 stars? It was like
Infinity
Gold,
out of
gold. Forget the frankincense and myrrh. Just give us the gold, and they got it.
they did from out the gate.
Immediately first
But-
scene.
Yes. Yes. But Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas really tugged at the heartstrings for all 3 of us. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
such
Yeah.
a good movie. I believe it's the 5th out of these
fifth, I think.
out of these movies, and I honestly think this one has been the best. But I loved
I
how there
love
was,
the
like,
previous
2
one.
Yeah,
too.
with Brendan Penny, I really loved that one as well. And I loved the one with Lacey.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lacey's like my favorite out of the female Hallmark leads. But this one for me, I loved how it had the 2 different storylines going on at the same time. I guess Lacey's did too. Like there were multiple people involved in that one.
Mhm.
but this one to me just, I don't know, it was deeper somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
I don't
have
know
to
how
say,
It was such a big plot twist in it too, because like
Yeah.
way towards the end, how it really did intertwine blew my mind. I did not see it coming at all. Like the second voice note was just, it came to me out of nowhere.
Mhm.
But obviously, as you start watching, it makes complete sense at the same time.
Yeah.
And just like how their stories were similar to each other at the same time too, because like the one that got away, and like that kind of thing. Like it was so amazing. Like I love that there was these different levels of grief going on. Like they all had this different version of grief from that night happening. Like you saw how that one night affected 4 people so differently.
Yeah.
And for such different reasons, and how it carried throughout their life, how and how it like she even talked how she wondered about how that night did it throw her off course of where she was supposed to actually be,
Right.
and how that can happen, how some things can affect your course and how to get where you're supposed to be, and how sometimes it does it can cause you to have a detour, and how it will cause you to have a longer path to get to the place where you're supposed to be, or even just a shorter path. It just either way.
yeah.
But that really spoke to me. How
when this movie was going on, did either one of y'all think, obviously Josh is the main character, and it's hilarious that Tyler's playing opposite another Elizabeth character, since he did that, and it was always you. And then how did we not notice that his brother's name was Andrew?
I noticed.
Wait. Andrew is his brother?
Yes. It wasn't Andy his brother?
No, he only had a sister.
I thought he was the brother. I thought it was like two brothers and a girl.
I thought he was like just another best friend.
It probably was just a best friend.
I think.
Okay, see, I thought it was brother.
No, because the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, if you think about it, the mom never mentioned Andrew. The sister never really mentioned Andrew either. So I feel like if it was about Andrew, if Andrew was the brother.
Okay, that makes sense.
They were just best friends. They were just all three. Like it was Elizabeth.
See, I just kind of assumed they were brothers.
No, from what I understand from watching the movie, it was like Elizabeth, Tyler's character Josh, and Andrew were just best friends. They were like best friends all throughout college, and I think high school even.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, see, I don't know what I don't know what made me think they were brothers, but just something to me just kind of seemed to fit like they were. Like he would have been a younger.
At first, I did too, but then as the movie went on and like nothing was said from his mom and his sister, I was like, okay, they're probably not.
Yeah, I never thought that he was his brother. I guess because they don't look alike at all. Because like Andrew is like blonde and curly hair, and you got Andrew over here with like black, like crazy spunky kind of hair.
Yeah,
and so but
anyway, when that conversation was going on in one of the flashbacks between Elizabeth and Andy, did you think that she actually liked him, or did you know that it was going to be about Josh?
I knew it was about
Josh. It was going to be about Josh.
I felt like it was too obvious that it was leaning, like that it was trying to make you think that it was going to be Andy.
I never once thought it was Andy. I never once thought it was Andy.
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that when they tried to make it look like that, when they tried to make it look like that's what Josh thought, that's when I went, okay, it's Josh, it's not Andy.
I can see why Josh did, especially whenever he like grabbed her shoulders almost as if he was gonna lean in and kiss her.
Yeah.
Somewhat, I can kind of see that, especially because he got like someone walked past him and then he walked off. So he didn't really see just how much space was in between them or whatever. But yeah, I never thought for once that it was ever going to be about Andrew. Now, I did not, even with the whole Andrew's memorial and everything, it wasn't until the second time I watched it that it was, because I didn't get to watch all of it the first time. I cut it cut me off after the first commercial. Like I stopped watching it because I ended up having to go to sleep for work. So the second time I watched it and got the full effect of everything, that's when I found out, like, oh, okay, Andrew's gone. I think Andrew passed away. So yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought, okay, maybe we do need to like skip back and cover more of the story here. But the story, first of all, how cute was it that she was told, she's at this party for her mom's business, and she gets told you have a message at the front desk.
I was going to mention that.
Yes, go ahead.
I love that.
She walks up and I think he says something like, "I'm here to rescue you." And then she says, "From a Christmas party?" That is not a Christmas party. That is a bunch of old men in suits discussing their investment portfolios. That's not true. No. They're also preparing their golf games.
Yes. The fact that he gave her his jacket. Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, I'll get you back before you turn into a pumpkin.
Ironically, our friend Kristen, her husband Josh, when I kind of pegged him as an actual gentleman, I had never met them before, so I didn't really know anything about them. But when I met them at the Hardy's VIP event when they actually premiered the When Calls the Heart musical a couple of years ago, we were walking around outside and it was so windy. It was freezing out there. And Josh gave me his jacket.
Aww.
He's like, "I'll be fine. Like, here, just take." I'm like, "Josh, I'll be fine." He's like, "Nope, you take my jacket." So he made me wear his jacket the entire time. And I was just like, Kristen, I'm thinking, Kristen, where do you find guys like this? Like, for real?
It's so true though.
Yeah,
That's
it
really
is.
sweet.
It is really true, but it's funny, like both Josh's thing there. But I love it when he says, "Don't worry, I'll get you back before you turn into a pumpkin." But yeah, their relationship, their banter, their relationship is so cute. I know, Morgan, you've said this from the time you watched it, that Tyler and Holland's chemistry was so good. Like they worked
I never thought that he would have better chemistry with anyone other than Aaron Krenko. Obviously, from The Covenant, it was always you. But seeing the way that, like, I feel like even him himself, the way that he was acting was so different and was so just like the way he, like, in the puppy dog face that sometimes he would look at her with. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just could not keep my eyes off of them. Like, they were so just adorable and cute, and like the chemistry for them was so palpable, in my opinion. Like, I just and they just they just did so good with the banter with each other. It just seemed so natural. Yeah.
The one thing I was gonna say that I wish we had more of in this movie is more of them together. I feel like we didn't see enough scenes with them.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that we should, but that comes with the fact that they were kind of having two different storylines, unfortunately. So that was so good. That was the only takeoff of it, was that it was decreasing their screen time. Yeah. I agree.
So we need
to make a campaign of to get another Tyler Hines and Holland Roland.
I'm down. I'm down.
I have to mention the conversation with her mom at work, Elizabeth and her mom.
Just like 3 years later.
Yeah. And they're talking about dating, and she says, "I date." Her mom, "You don't date. You have networking lunches and business meetings." I should really get this. And then I think her mom says something, and then Elizabeth says, "It's 10 a.m.
10 a.m. on a Monday. I'm working.
Not hiding."
Yeah.
Not hiding.
I'm not hiding.
Oh, man.
That's such a mom thing to do, is to like talk about the fact that she likes dating skills. Because I feel like my mom does the same thing, but I know she's doing it in a loving way. I just don't like. She sometimes gets on my nerves because she'll do the same thing to me, because I don't really put myself out there, but mainly because like I'm such an introvert. I know it's shocking. I'm on a podcast. I talk like I can't shut up. I understand it's weird, but anyways,
That's because we're talking the three of us, and
Yeah.
we're all close friends.
Yeah, exactly. But so I can totally understand Holland in that Elizabeth in that moment would be like, Mom, can you please leave me alone?
Yeah.
Can we like table this discussion for when I'm not at work and I can have like a glass of wine and like be away from like that.
Aw.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
seeing Tyler interact with his nephew.
Yeah. Is okay, should that be another t-shirt? I lack people skills in a loving way.
Okay, we should just be writing these down, like seriously.
I know, right? The three wise women in a podcast, that is definitely your next project. But Elizabeth, when she says I should really get this, she's getting a phone call, and they leave a voicemail, and the voicemail is not for her.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the girl's name actually? Madeline. It's for a lady named Madeline, and this guy's like just pouring his heart out of basically, I know I messed up, I did a lot of things wrong, I would do anything to make it right. If there's any chance you feel the same way, meet me at our special spot Christmas Eve, 9:00. And she's like,
even mentions like her favorite dessert they would get at Sweet Eats, like bakery.
yes,
and mentions the fact that he knows that she'll be busy with the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of these little tiny snippet little clues, but they're so tiny. Like I'm telling you, like it just shows you like how they were as like a team. Like even if Andrew was also alive, like those three would be like the big detectives. Like they would be all over that because that's what they did apparently. Whenever they were kids.
At the beginning of the story, 3 years prior, that Josh and Elizabeth were both offered jobs with the New York Times, like straight out of college.
Yeah.
Like we start there when we finish college, and they never did. We found out at this point he's living in Michigan, I think at this point, and she's still in Seattle. And but they were a good team. They were kind of a detective team in a way. And this was something that they did together. So when she gets this voicemail, she decides she can't not try to find Madeline or try to find whoever left this voicemail, because she tries calling them back and it's just a hotel number, but she doesn't know who left it. And there's like,
and they won't tell her
1,500 rooms at this hotel.
Like there's no way
that
not to mention her mom's even trying to get her to like leave it alone. Like there's no point. Like I'm saying, you love to do these kind of things, but there's nothing to go on. Like you're not going to be able to find him in time. Try not to put so much energy into this and put energy into this or whatever.
So she goes to the hotel to try to somehow or another convince the clerk to go door to door.
Won't budge.
Say what?
I said he won't budge.
He won't budge. So she's at the desk, and he's kind of trying to get her to just leave. So
Gosh.
Looks at the person behind her and is like, "Hi, can I help you?" He goes to check in, and Elizabeth turns around and here's a man she has not seen or heard from in 3 years. And so there's obviously like a tension between the two of them because Andy's death obviously had split them apart. And so I love the way he like chases after her and tells her, hey, he threw the note away as soon as you left. And she was like, well, it's out of my hands now, whatever. He's like, actually, it's in mine. I love how he's like still trying to be funny, even in a totally not funny situation. And he's like, so what are you gonna do? And she's like, there's nothing I can do. And he's like, kind of what happened to you, because that's not who I know. And she's like, people change. And she's like, people change. You would know that if you had stuck around, and so she closes the door and drives away. And of course, he knew her. She could not let it go. So he ends up running into her in like a coffee shop or something. I guess.
Yeah, I think
Some kind of
Yeah,
restaurant.
some kind of restaurant. And she has this list because she went. The first clue that she had was sweet eats.
Sweet eats. Sweet eats.
Yeah.
Candy shop.
Even though they say it like it's sweeties, it's sweet eats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she goes there to try to find, these caramel turtles that Madeline had loved, and to see if whoever had, if he had bought them, if there were, and here's our new podcast mascot, Rosie.
Oh, sorry guys.
So cute.
I love. Go ahead,
Nicole.
Oh, I was just gonna say I love her line when she comes in and she says, "I'm looking for a man," and then the lady working behind the counter says,
"Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?" Yes, we are.
Did anybody else did anyone else not think that the our spot was going to be what it actually ended up being? I thought our spot, whenever he said our spot was going to be the gazebo. Yeah, because he got her a snow globe of a gazebo.
With the gazebo. Yeah.
So I did think it was going to be a diner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. But so she ends up she can't get any information out of this lady. So she sees like a sign up list for a drawing. So she buys some stuff from the place to enter the drawing and take pictures of who had. Yeah. So Josh runs into her at a restaurant and ends up offering his help to help call these people. And I don't remember, they run out of people to call. They've called everybody.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. And was it the song? Was that the other thing that they noticed while they were sitting there?
It was a song.
He noticed it. He picked up that there was, and asked her to play it again, and it was a little tune that was going off. He's like, if we can figure, that sounds like it's coming from like a music box. And so they were racking their brains trying to figure out what the song was, and they couldn't figure it out. And next thing you know, he's asking, his mom, Josh's mom tells him who to ask, because he's a dude that owns a music shop and he knows every song in the world. Obviously he tells Elizabeth. They go to the music shop and they play the song for him, and he doesn't know.
No, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
At first, he does not know, but he ends up later figuring it out. But
I honestly did not.
I have a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, did y'all see it coming that it was going to be the title song?
No, that's what I was actually fixing to say. I should have known.
Right?
I should have, but I totally did not.
No.
Great minds think alike.
The intricate little details in this movie is what you really, I'm telling you, I said this about the three wise men and a baby, because of the fact that Tyler does his little subtle little moments and stuff, like you guys were talking about with the candy cane and Paul wanting the candy cane, but he was offering it to Luke and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But with this movie, you have to focus in on those little tiny details about that message and everything. And I feel like you still wouldn't really get it. I feel like it still would blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you really have to focus on this movie, because I'm telling you, it takes you through a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I am surprised though, I wonder if she did actually enter in her name for the drawing at the Sweet Eats. Because it would have been kind of cute if she ended up winning the contest and got the sweets.
I don't know. I can't say I thought anything about that, but that is a good point. I love the journey that and I mean, it's funny how close, Josh was in the elevator with the guy,
right?
Yeah.
And he has no clue.
Yeah.
I was half expecting when they go to the store to look for the music box. It's at the snow globe.
Mhm.
And the lady's like, oh, it was about your height. He had a beard, whatever. I was half expecting him to go, hey, that sounds like the guy I was in the elevator with earlier. Like I was.
Honestly, I was expecting the girl that worked at the holidays to actually be the one that was Madeline, but that it didn't end up being the right Madeline. Which I feel like all of those made so much more sense because, like, out of all of those people that was working at that place, not one other person was named Madeline. Like, I understand it's kind of an uncommon name, but at the same time, it is more of a common name than a lot of other names. But like, come on.
Mhm.
It kind of was like, it kind of made sense that, the one, like, of course she might not be the Madeline, because like so many people could be named Madeline, but I think one thing that I thought that how it was going to happen was that they were going to find her, just like they ended up finding her first before they actually found him. But I also was half expecting them to find him before they found her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, which one are they going to find first? Because I feel like it was going to be either one of them because of how they were looking. Because they were like asking people who he like if they remember him, and then they were asking people like, do you know Madeline? Do you know like you know? So I was like kind of leaning like they were going to figure out whichever one, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, when Elizabeth asked the lady or the girl if she knew a Madeline or a Maddie, did it take you back to an SSD movie?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were trying to find, and they kept looking for the wrong name. I think was it actually Madison or something, and they kept looking for Madeline, or they were looking for Madeline.
They were looking for Maddie, but her name was Madison.
Yeah. So they were
everyone called her. Everyone called her Maddie, but her name was Madison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I love the scene with Carter reuniting with his brother Peter.
Yeah.
And I have to mention, Peter is a When Close to Heart alum.
I recognized him. Please tell me who he is, because that's been driving me nuts.
Lionel.
Okay.
The guy that Viola married. From England.
Sir Lionel. Oh,
Sir Lionel, yeah.
That was driving me nuts.
To me. He didn't even look familiar to me, and I literally just got finished watching that season not too long ago.
His name is Jay Hindle.
Okay.
See, like, no, she's our encyclopedia, guys. Like, she's our encyclopedia. She knows every character that's ever been on We Call It the Heart and SSD. She knows their actor name. She knows their character name. She remembers what movie they were in, what character they played, the storyline they had. She remembers everything. This chick has like a photographic memory or something.
No way.
She's our Rita. She's our Rita.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, I loved that reunion as well. Okay, was I the only one that just kind of assumed, just from the whole thing, that this would have been a drunk driving accident?
I think it was. I think it was.
I don't think it was.
Really?
I don't think it was.
No, if I'm correct, or if I remember correctly, I think I remember there was a line somewhere in the movie that said that he had hit a patch of ice or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like, I wonder what would have happened if I had just like gone the other way in that skid, or if I had left my house a minute later, or whatever. So I kind of gathered in that conversation that he was not drunk, and even just looking at him,
he didn't look drunk.
Now that you think about it, yeah. Now that you say that, I remember that now. It kind of came out of, I couldn't remember that part, but yeah, now that you mention that, yeah, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
I have to mention the scene when Elizabeth is spending time with Josh, his mom, and his sister at home, and they're baking the Christmas cookies,
gingerbread
or they're
cookies with the white
they're-
bow ties.
they're decorating them. And Josh says, question, what is that? Oh my goodness, what is that? Suspenders. It doesn't have pants. I'm getting there. Well, I quite like your gingerbread frog. That is not a frog. That is no frog. That is an elf.
Yes.
And then they call
And
a
then-
truce with the icing.
Yes.
Like he puts
Okay,
icing
but
on
like
his
how
hand.
how many of like would you guys actually eat those cookies? Because like that icing was just like piled on top of those cookies. I'm like, I feel like you wouldn't even be able to get to the cookie part because of all that icing.
I don't know. I like icing, so
Yeah.
I mean, I do too, but like I feel like you wouldn't even be able to taste the gingerbread part. It'd be nothing but icing in your mouth.
I do have to mention the lines after that are really funny. She
Yes.
says, well, this one I really like. She says, I like to think when you're truly meant for someone, it's never too late to get it right.
Mhm.
He says,
Anyone else? Oh, sorry.
okay.
Go ahead.
You know what I think happened? I think she insulted his gingerbread elf. Or she complimented his gingerbread frog. That's true. I appreciate that. Pants. I don't know if you can claim it. I don't know if you can claim that, but it's close. They're on sale in November. Great. I'll pick them up.
I love that she teased him about the M November part because she had just been picking on him about how early he fit. She's like, let me
Christmas
guess, you did
shopping.
Christmas shopping in October. And he was like, no, September.
Okay, but here's the thing. The fact that he already has all of his Christmas done that early and he's a man, no offense. Like, she should be rewarding him, not making fun of him. Because, I mean, for crying out, I don't even shop that early.
Oh, I can't.
I
First
can't
of all,
either.
First of all, I'm a person that cannot hang on to something and not give it to somebody. If I'm closer to that, like proximity to them, like, you know, I'll pick up something for my friend Michelle or whatever, and I'll hang on to it for half the year, you know, before I send it to her. But like for my immediate family and stuff that I live close to, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. And for me, half the fun of Christmas is the shopping.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't do that before Christmas.
Mom's the same way, especially with the kids,
Mhm.
with the grandbabies. Because like we can't even hide it from them because like she's like I'm telling you, she's got one of the twins' Christmas present behind the couch. I'm like, they're gonna find it. And she's like, and they find it, I'm gonna open it for them. They'll get it. And I'm like, you're impossible. Impossible. The reason why these kids don't have any presents under the tree is because of you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I loved how happy Elizabeth got over cookies though. Like
I love how she was just like pants.
I love how she automatically knew as soon as they said gingerbread cookies. She said, with the little white bows, with like the bow ties.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jumping back a little, I did like when she met Tennille Towns in their conversation.
Yeah,
it was brief, but
it's so amazing.
Yeah,
that did not really click with me that was gonna be part of the story later. Honestly, it did. Like the fact that she had mentioned when they were talking about Christmas shopping that she had tried to get tickets to this concert and couldn't get them, and then she meets the star. That did not really click.
The poster for the concert was literally right behind her, and it had her name on it.
Yeah, and it did not click with me.
Yeah.
Okay, how cute was the ring toss game?
That was so cute, and you know she missed on purpose.
Yeah, I had that in my notes. Did Elizabeth intentionally give him the win so she could go to his parents'
she
Christmas?
definitely did. You saw like the way she looked at him, for sure, and I would have to. I cannot blame her. I would be coming to that Christmas party.
He's like, yeah, okay, I lost.
Yeah.
What time?
Oops. I love that Tyler got in the boat, like Tyler's character Josh got guy in the photo with the big bear. That was so cute.
Yes. Yes.
And he tried to give it to her, and she was like, "Oh no, that is your
That's
prize."
your prize. Yeah.
What did he say? I was hoping you would say that or something like that. And just like hugs the bear. Oh man, we talked about like the chemistry between the two of them and the looks he would give her and stuff. When they were taking that picture,
the way he looked at her. I could not handle the scenes whenever they would start talking about Andy, and like he would get like this like puppy dog face, like sad face on him, like because you don't really see that many scenes, like you don't see that many movies where Tyler has like more sadness on him that like I can like maybe disappointment or whatever, but like this was like full on like grief, sadness that you don't really see. I've never really seen him have to act through.
Well, so much of what Tyler does, even when he's being funny, he just has this stoic expression, like just like zero emotion that'll show in his face.
Yeah.
So to actually see him convey that heartbreak and that sadness through his face, but oh my gosh, can you imagine somebody looking at you like that?
Oh,
I literally
had to hug him. I would automatically have to hug him and be like, "Oh my God, please, no, stop! Like, I can't handle that. You're gonna make me cry." No.
There are a few actors on Hallmark that can act really well with their eyes. Tyler, Andrew, Eric. I should still say Daniel, even though he hasn't done a Hallmark movie in a while. I'm trying to think of who else.
I like Kevin.
Kevin. I can't forget Kevin. I can't forget Kevin.
Morgan, what? I just saw what.
Wait, what?
I just saw the notification. That's from where I posted this shirt. What Morgan is freaking out about is the fact that Tyler Hines just responded to the picture that I posted with this shirt on Instagram. It was like the heart eyes reaction on the story.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta post my Andrew one.
Yes, you do. But I loved the fact that he like reposted the one that I did at Thanksgiving with the toothpick hanging out my mouth, where I was like, I'm channeling
so cute.
I could not really get the facial expression I was going for, but I was also sitting at the table with other people, so I couldn't really keep working on it without it being ridiculously awkward.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But yes, I can't forget Kevin.
Poppy, yeah. Yes. Oh, Kevin can definitely work with his eyes. Yeah. But
and Brendan.
I've literally had one experience with a guy that and I mean we never were anything other than friends, but I'm convinced to this day that there was a period of time that he liked me, because I remember we were like working on something and he was talking to somebody and he turns around to look at me and I swear his eyes melted. I did not even know that was actually possible.
Aww.
But like his eyes like just literally melted when he turned around and looked at me, and I'm just like, okay, what was that? Like I didn't say anything, but I'm just like, what? So I would probably, okay, can you imagine? You know how they've done these things when they've done events of like having the guys like make me fall in love with you with one look or whatever, where they've done those little videos. Can you imagine if like Kevin or Tyler or somebody turned that look on? Somebody would have to pick us up off the floor.
I would be out, knocked out. Like I would be done, unconscious on the floor.
We fangirl on this podcast, and they darn well know it, and they love it. I can go ahead and tell you.
I mean, like I feel like they love it because like it's just like they don't see themselves like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew's married. I feel like he still doesn't see himself as like that. And he's just like, I'm just like, I mean, I'm just Andrew. I'm just a dad. I'm just a husband. I'm just like a philanthropist actor. Like, I'm not like that big of a deal. And I like same with Tyler.
My jaw is hurting from laughing so much.
I'm telling you, we have broke her in the weeks since she has become.
I know, like my jaw is like hurting right now from smiling and laughing so much.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Getting back to the movie.
Yeah, I love I will say this, I was really shocked at the sister's reaction. Because like personally, if like my brother got rejected, I would not like that girl very much. Because in the flashbacks we see her, like obviously they do like this gift exchange thing.
Yeah, and she gives
Tyler
him
ends up with the basket of jellies or whatever it was, and then like the sister ends up getting like 2 tickets to
the Nutcracker.
Yeah,
the
to
Nutcracker.
And like she's trying to get him to like exchange with her, and he's like, "What am I gonna do with 2 tickets, like to a play?" Like and she's just like, why don't you invite Elizabeth? He's like, why would I do that? He's like, I know you like her. It's obvious. Like, hello. And he's and
I love
like,
where he's like,
about it.
It's obvious.
Like, wow,
it's obvious. Is it obvious to her?
Yeah.
Right. And like looks, and like there's Elizabeth sitting kind of like on the back of the couch with Andrew and like talking it up and Andy. And so he finally kind of gives up. He's like, all right, fine. And like you could tell he's like in inner turmoil, like trying to figure out if this is what he needs to do or not. And then when he finally does and he gets the courage to go do it, he looks behind the staircase and he sees them talking, and the way that their body language is and everything, it really is. Like, I feel like it is really true. But at the same time, I get so aggravated. I'm like, why don't you stay for the whole thing? Stop leaving early. Like that, there's so much of your problems.
Because this is what Hallmark does. Nobody listens to anybody. Nobody sticks around for the whole story.
No one just admits that they have that they were wrong about something, or just flat out say, "I like you. I liked you since we were kids. I like you."
Well, he eventually does in a pretty big way, but yeah. But if you notice in the script that I wrote, I did not do that to them. I started to, but I did not have them actually have that exact problem. I kind of borderlined it, but I didn't have them do that exact thing.
I do feel like that kind of thing, like that kind of misunderstanding is done a lot. Yeah. And it can sometimes be overkill, but the way they did it,
I can kind of get it, because you don't want to just sit there and watch someone that you really like flirting and being involved with another guy. Obviously, that would be painful to watch, and I can understand that. But at the same time, I'm too much of a nosy person to walk away. Yeah, like, I want to know all about it. Like, I want to know everything.
Well, I mean, okay, the part that he overhears is basically Andy going, like, how long has this been going on? Pretty much.
How long have you felt this way?
And how long have you felt this way? She's like, it's been for a while, but I didn't want to say anything because I knew it would change things between us. Yeah. And I mean, even when she told him she wanted to talk to him, even when she initially told Andy, she was like, about us, and he's like, us? So I mean, they're like, that's what they're trying to make you think, is that she's in love with Andy. But Hallmark, we know your tricks. Okay, nobody is fooled at this point in the game.
But I mean, like coming from Josh's point of view, it does make a lot of sense for him to be that way, especially when you get further on into the future, like 3 years later, how she was still, like she even said, like coming back and being at the Christmas party and doing all these things that they were doing, it made her realize that her feelings were still there. And she even says this to Josh, and Josh takes it as her saying that she was still in love with Andrew, even with him gone. And he's not going to try and compete with his best friend who is gone.
Yeah, like, I love the fact that he's just like, you can't help who you love. And she's like, no. And little do they know, they're both in love with each other, but they both think they need something.
Yeah.
she was like, I think
Like she
so
thinks
much
that
of
he
this.
doesn't like her like that, and that he thinks that she likes their dead best friend.
Well, I mean, they literally have this conversation when they're walking in there into this Christmas festival thing that's going on. And he's like, you really think Madeline's going to give him a second chance? And she was like, well, yeah, I hope she at least hears him out. She was like, you can't have any kind of a relationship without honesty. And he's like, okay, I haven't been honest with you. He was like, I overheard you at Christmas. And he was like, I didn't, and she doesn't know. She's like, how much did you hear? And he's like, the whole thing, because he thought he did.
Yeah.
And he did
And
not.
he's like, I didn't know what to say to you, whatever. So she thinks she thinks he
That he
knew.
didn't know how to reject her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he thinks she was picking his best friend.
It was a mess. It was so hard to watch. And oh my gosh, guys, I cannot tell you how many times I got so frustrated with the commercials. Like, Hallmark, chill with the commercials. Like, if you're gonna listen to me about anything else, chill with the commercials.
Can we please have
Okay.
less commercials? Like, honestly.
I will say I would rather have like 15 straight minutes of commercial in the middle of the movie than to have like
Thank you.
Yes.
like have an intermission.
Have a
Or something. Well,
halftime
like-
performance, okay? Have a halftime performance, okay?
It even bothers me in SSD because there are so many good scenes that get cut from those movies because of
Yes.
stupid commercials.
Yes.
Like,
Like-
do you not know how much content we would get? Like, how many amazing scenes we would get in a movie if they would cut the commercials down? I'm just like, come on.
Like, for instance, I'm
That's where
not
they
going.
make their money though.
I mean, I understand that's how they make their money, but come on. It's like the same commercials over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Like,
Yeah.
for
I
instance,
guarantee you I could quote some of the commercials they've done so many times.
I'm not going to spoil the context of this scene in this particular movie because, Morgan, you have not gotten to this point yet. But the scene when they are on the farm,
Mm-hmm.
you know exactly which one I'm talking about. There is a deleted scene, an extended version of that scene on YouTube. It's an international version. Oh, I wish that could have been in the movie.
Oh my gosh. I hate it so bad. We need like director's cuts of every Hallmark movie and the bloopers behind
And
it. Like, yeah.
And I am like 99.9% sure there is a part of the porch swing scene in the Vows We Have Made that got cut because there are photos from the movie on the website of the scene. They're like of parts that we did not see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm like pretty sure they cut part of that.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. When we start our production company, we're gonna release like our regular cut and a director's cut and bloopers on everything. Okay, like we're gonna do it right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, we can just name it Honest to Goodness Productions,
There you go.
I'm down. I'm down.
where we give our honest good entertainment, like honest and good entertainment, not honest opinions on good entertainment, but honest goodness entertainment.
Yeah. Honestly, good entertainment.
Yeah,
There we go.
Honestly goodness. Honestly good
Honestly-
entertainment.
Honestly, good entertainment. I love it.
There we
I
go.
love it.
There we go.
Hey, and listen, I've made enough contacts through working on set. I could get us some camera guys and PAs or whatever. All we got to do is find somebody with the money.
There we go. GoFundMe,
Yeah.
anyone?
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Bless you. But I loved how they keep working together despite how they think the other one feels. Like just watching the show and when he's like, I just need to be her friend right now.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I need to be there for her. I was not there for her when she really needed me, and I'm not going to make that mistake again.
That's one thing I loved about this movie was the mystery aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that, like, and you could, like, with the mom, with like Elizabeth's mom, like she got kind of defensive around the fact that she was hanging out with Josh again because she didn't want her daughter getting hurt again. And then she saw them in the store whenever they had like the snow globes and stuff, and she actually looked like she was a little excited. Snippy. Yeah. But she did kind of look like she was actually kind of excited to see them like that at the same time. It was like a really weird reaction. But actually kind of good. But I loved that they were completely wrong about the holiday part of the voicemail, because it said, I know you're going to be busy with the holidays. And like, obviously when we're talking about that, and it's like the Christmas, like the holidays. And then Josh sees this person like carrying the bag for the holidays market, Christmas market or whatever. And like, oh, that's when they go down the rabbit hole for trying to find a Madeline. And then it turns out that's not it at all. Nope. It's the name of her band.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the like I said, all of the little roller coasters of this ride, like they were literally honing in on so many things, and like each one took them on such a huge different course than what they were actually initially thinking in the beginning.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he was the one to figure it out.
Yeah.
For one thing. But I also love when they try to go to this concert. First of all, when her mother comes to her at the party and is basically telling her, you know, when you came to me and told me you wanted to work at the company, I knew it was what you needed right now. You know, you just needed a soft place to land. You needed to be close to home, close to family, friends, and whatever. And she was like, but this was always meant to be temporary. And she was like, over these past days, I have seen a side of you I have not seen in years. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why are you telling me this? And her mom's like almost crying saying this. And she's like, because you have a message at the front desk. Mm-hmm. You know, so I love the fact that it was her mom that told her that, you know?
Yeah.
And of course she goes out there and, you know, Josh tells her, you know, I found her, you know, come on. So they go to try to get in the concert, and he comes back and he's like, yeah, they're not going to let us in without tickets. She's like, so we're sneaking in? He's like, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then Tennille comes by and she's like,
yeah, the security guard, they don't have the badges. Like the security guards, like you have to have badges and all that kind of stuff like that. And they were trying to get people to tell them where she is, and and she was telling the bodyguard, like, we just need to give this, we have something for her, like, can you please just tell us where Madeline is? And then Tennille walks by, she's like, oh, she's in her dressing room right there, like down the hall or whatever.
Last door on the left or something.
Passes. And she's like, well, I guess you better take them there.
Yeah.
And I keeps walking. And Tyler's just like,
I love how she doesn't miss a beat. She like just keeps walking the whole time.
Yeah.
She's like, Merry Christmas.
And I love that Tyler's like, yeah, what she said.
Yeah. All tough guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to be this tough guy.
Yes. Oh, and then of course they find Madeline. They play the voicemail for her. And of course, by her emotions, it's very obvious it's for her. But she's like, I think I have something for you. And she has a voicemail.
What?
Mind blowing.
Yes.
Like, Mom was watching me because, like, she watched the movie before I did. And she's just like, just wait. Like, the commercials, just wait. Like, making me mad. Because I'm like, I can't wait because of this stupid commercials. But, like when that happened, I looked at her and she's like, like she already all smug, like, I did before you did, haha. And I'm like, like, I'm never watching a Hallmark movie. You are not allowed to ever watch a Hallmark movie without me.
Like what?
But Yeah, but the voicemail is from the same man, and Carter is his name.
Carter Bishop.
Yeah, Carter Bishop. And that's the name that they couldn't find. Like, they didn't know his name when they're trying to search for him and for Madeline.
And we had no clue that she knew Carter.
Right.
We had no clue. We thought he was a complete stranger to both of them. You know, which is partly true for Josh, because Josh wasn't around when the wreck actually happened, because Josh was taking Elizabeth back to the party that Josh kidnapped her from. So, like, you know, like
Andy was
supposed to take her back.
Yeah, and Andy was taking her back. Yeah,
I said Andrew, right?
No, you said Josh, but it's okay.
Oh, anyway, Josh took Elizabeth from. Andy was taking her back, and that's when the wreck happened. But like, so we didn't think that either one of them knew the other, because we didn't know that the wreck happened because Carter hit a patch of ice. Like, all of this unravels within that amount of time, in between like a 30-minute commercial break. But
and honestly, like, at the memorial service, there were other pictures there and stuff. And the flashback that she was having was to Andy, you know, like, what are you going to do after, you know, you finish traveling or whatever. So I thought maybe he was in the Middle East somewhere, and him and these other guys. Yeah, and maybe they all end up
doing
getting
like
shot
some field reporting or something like that, like doing some
I was completely lost as to actually how he died.
I didn't know exactly when, until they obviously showed that it was that night.
Right. Yeah.
Because I thought it was within the span of those 3 years. Sometime in the span of those 3 years. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah. Had no clue that, and Madeline was there too. So like, it affected her too, because like she had to witness it too. But like, it is crazy, like, to know that you're or to feel that you're the reason why this person lost their life. Like, the actor, which, by the way, he's a When Calls the Heart alumni too.
Yes, Spurlock.
He's
the original Spurlock.
Yes. Yes. Steve Basic.
Spurlock. He's the original Spurlock that tried to frame
Elizabeth.
Pat.
Sorry, Pat.
Of the church fire with the whale oil, because she rejected him. So so I totally forgot for a second that he was that. But anyway, and so like, Steve I was Basic. Like, but the way he conveyed his emotions in those scenes, I'm just like, oh, like, they were so so good. But him in that booth talking to Elizabeth about that
scene had me
was
in
just
tears.
Like, I'm telling you.
You notice
like,
that they all, like, you know, Elizabeth is basically telling Josh, you know, that she thinks he blames her for the accident, because, you know, if it weren't for her, Andy would have never been on the road that night. He thinks she blames him, because if he hadn't have left, then Andy wouldn't have been taking her back. And then Carter thinks that she's been blaming him, and he's been blaming himself, and she's been blaming herself. And I love when he's just like, it seems like we've been carrying this guilt a long time. Is it okay if we lay it down?
Oh, that scene. Oh, I'm about to start crying.
There was so powerful.
I'm about to start crying right now thinking about it.
I know.
Like, oh man, I'm just like,
yeah.
See, I still don't understand how you could have thought, which I kind of like. Did you still, even in that scene, think that Andy was Josh's brother, even in that scene?
I don't know where I came up with that. I guess I just assumed it. Because like, he just kind of seemed like a kid brother to me.
Yeah, but I still kind of, I know that obviously Elizabeth was in the car when it happened, but I do kind of find it crazy that they didn't really dive too much more into how Josh would feel, because like, he was just as close to Andrew as Elizabeth was, and I get it, he was not in the car, but I feel like we didn't really see a whole lot of that with his character. Like, I kind of wish he was kind of in the booth too, even though Carter didn't know who he was because he wasn't there that night. He wasn't involved in the wreck, but like it affected him too.
I'll admit I kind of found that weird because I'm sorry, but and maybe it's a girl thing because we all know like girls can't go to the bathroom by themselves and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's a fact. I don't know why girl. I mean, I'm not that girl, but I mean, you see it all the time. I gotta go to the bathroom. Anybody else want to go? Or whatever. Like, girls do that sort of thing. I don't know why, but they do.
I think it's kind of a protective thing because, like, kidnapping and stuff like that mainly. Yeah.
But also it's an excuse to talk about the people here at the table. Let's not lie here.
Yeah.
But if like Morgan, if you and I were in that situation and I was going to meet up with somebody that this had happened to, do you not think you would have sat down with me, if nothing else, for moral support? Not that you had a word to put in.
Oh, but absolutely. I found it really weird that he didn't sit on the booth too. But I guess because he felt like it was more of a personal thing for them because, like, again, she was there on the wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Andy died right beside her, in the car. So I can kind of guess in some ways why. But at the same time, I feel like he could have sat down and it wouldn't have been weird.
Yeah.
It would have made sense for him to sit down more than it did for him.
I mean, personally, I think I would have wanted.
Yeah.
My brain is going in a sarcastic direction. I can lie on myself.
I saw it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Get serious, Kerri. Get serious. Okay. I would have wanted my friend with me for moral support in that situation.
The guy that I had feelings for.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe because she thinks he doesn't have feelings for her or something, but like,
and vice versa, he doesn't think that she has feelings for him. And they're talking about someone that was killed that she's in love with. But I feel at the same time that still would be more of a reason for him to at least sit beside her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially with her sitting there talking to the person that essentially caused it, albeit it was an accident. But at the end of the day,
it still happened because his car hit the ice and hit them.
Right.
Even though she knows it's an accident, it still happened because of his car and the ice.
Right. So, I mean, personally, I just feel like I would have wanted my friend, whoever was with me, to be there as moral support rather than me just by myself. I don't know, maybe it's a girl thing, but that just kind of felt like that just seemed very natural to me that he would have sat with her.
Yeah. There. And maybe like for the angling of the camera, it couldn't work. Maybe because of the boots. Maybe. And like the small little hallway right there, like the small little aisling between like the bar and the booths, maybe. It could have been like a totally like unrelated to the script, unrelated to the characters themselves. Maybe it could have been technical, behind the scenes stuff. That could have been the reason. But y'all,
can we talk about that kiss?
Like, no, the way that Carter looks at Madeline whenever she walks in her, I was feeling like I was about to bawl my eyes out.
I
did not. I have no idea. But the look on both of their faces, oh my God, it wrecked my heart. Oh
no.
I love when Josh and Elizabeth walk outside, and Elizabeth, of course, is being a girl and like stops him and is like, "Look at the two of them," in the window, like just motioning, to being a total girl, and just like, and I don't even remember what was the exact conversation. Do you remember, Nicole, between the two of them?
I think if I remember correctly, it was talking about Madeline giving Carter a second chance, and I think Elizabeth says, "I hope
that was something that was something that they kept having a conversation about throughout the scavenger to find them. They kept asking like, how you think it was going to end, how do you think how it ended, how do you think it's going to end when we find them, kind of thing. And it was kind of the closing of that kind of conversation.
And then Josh, I think, apologizes to Elizabeth how he wasn't there for her like he should have been, like he should have just been her friend.
Supportive.
And then
And be supportive of
But
the fact that
basically she finds out that
she finds out
he thought she was in love with Andy. And she's
Andy.
like, Josh. And I love the fact that she actually like reached out and like actually like touched him to make him look at her before she continued. And she was like, I was talking about you. And he's just like, what?
Like his face. Oh my God. I was like,
you. Can you not hear me again?
okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. I like how she's like, you were the one that I liked. She was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to say anything. So I was asking Andy for advice.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't remember, he had said something earlier that, he said something about even if you don't feel the same way. Or even if they don't feel the same way or something, because it's after she says that it kind of dawns on her what he had said before.
Yeah, and she was like, what do you mean feel the same?
Yeah, she was like, wait, so you were, she just stops and he was like, in love with you? I never stopped. Oh my gosh, that kiss.
What? I think I need a fan for that.
Like, that's probably one of the best Tyler Hines kisses I've seen him do. Like, the hand on the face is his signature, but that right there.
Wow. I need a drink of cold waters.
Okay, now why did my brain just do the line from Tangled?
What? I'm so lost here. I'm so lost.
Somebody give me a glass, because I just found me what is it?
A tall glass of water.
Yeah, tall drink of water. Yeah.
That's what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, somebody find me a glass, because I just found me a tall drink of water. Yeah.
I forgot about that line.
Yeah.
Oh
my word. Like, whew.
Right?
Yeah, definitely going down in the top Hallmark kisses list.
Oh yeah. Top 10 Hallmark movies, period.
That's true.
I mean, this movie was amazing. The
really
heart
was.
of it behind it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How they handled the whole line of grief and how oh my gosh, it was just amazing.
Even them at the concert.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God. Oh my God.
So cute.
Oh my word.
Very single, I have to say.
What? You cut
that
out
will
again.
make you feel very single.
Yeah.
The no.
That's like one of the top things that everybody wants to do as a couple is to like go to a concert or whatever together and like listen to music together, maybe kind of sway to the music together with like his hands behind, like him behind you with his arms wrapped around you, and like you're just enjoying the song.
Didn't he even end up doing because I mean, like at first he was just like standing beside her, but didn't he even end up doing the like standing behind her and having his arms around her neck?
He did.
Thing?
At the end, he did. At first, they held hands. Like
come
on!
Oh my God!
And then as the song kept going, he got behind her and like had his arms around her. Yeah.
And then the nose thing, which I just mentioned.
The nose
thing.
Oh my gosh!
Okay, that was a cute kiss, but the nose thing, like, just oh man!
I love it.
I've been teaching my nephews and my niece y'all met them a little bit earlier before we started recording this episode, but I've been teaching them how to Eskimo kiss.
I know. I've been trying to teach the girls to do that.
Oh,
I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Like that and like forehead kisses and like the wrapping of your arms behind, like from behind.
Yes.
Best things a guy could ever do.
So pretty much this movie is Tyler Hines' class on how to kiss a girl.
How to woo the girl you love.
Chemistry 101.
Yeah.
Say what?
Full
Chemistry 101.
Yeah, this is definitely Chemistry 101.
Yeah. Absolutely. For sure.
Name this episode Chemistry 101.
Right? Oh.
I like it. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this movie was so good.
I think it's safe to say that we all three are like, go watch this movie if you have not watched this movie. Buy it on DVD. Like, share it with all your friends. Like, do not stop talking about this movie because it was amazing. Like, Three Wise Men and the Baby and this movie are like gonna be like nonstop talking.
Yeah, both. I feel like, especially for me, you know, after the year that I've had, and I got a message about my grandfather that just passed away, because people might not know this. I know I posted about it on our Insta story. We're recording this on November 29th. My other grandfather passed away on the 26th, so like 2 days after Thanksgiving. So I got a message while we've been recording that his services are this Friday. So y'all, it has been a year. But for me, and I don't know if Tyler ever saw it, but I actually did message him the other day when he was interacting with our stories and stuff, and I was like, you know, kind of, here's what's been going on this year. And I was like, yours and Andrew's movies coming out are like medicine right now. You know, like they're just very, very good, very healing stories for the comedy, for the restoring element and everything.
To actually talk about grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So since we've already determined that every single one of these movies that we're covering have broken the 5-star record or the 5-star
rating.
Yeah, that's still not the word I'm looking for. Gauge, I don't know. Like it's broken that. I don't know. Three Wise Men and a Baby is still going to take tops for me. So I would say Three Wise Men and a Baby was 50. I would say this one's more like 30, but I feel like it deserves a little more than that. Like maybe 30 to 40, somewhere in those lines. Because the comedy's
I'm
always
not even really doing numbers anymore because I feel like numbers don't do them justice. My thing is like number 1, Three Wise Men and a Baby. Number 2 is Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And like under that is like I'm kind of going back and forth between Ghost of Christmas Always and the next movie that we're going to be covering, which is Southern Family Christmas, which is based in Louisiana.
So this Louisiana girl down here is happy.
I'm very happy. Very happy because they actually did it justice for once. Yeah.
It was a very good movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really was. So
I've been doing my rankings, and it's honestly so hard to pick what movie goes where, except for a few that I will say.
And this, I don't know exactly when this is going to be coming out and when your voting will be going on, but if it coincides, y'all be sure to be watching the Swing My Heart podcast for their kind of their own version of the People's Choice Awards. And y'all can vote for your favorite movies. You've already done the
Yeah.
preliminary voting to kind of bring
I'll go ahead and talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah,
We have
go
not
for it.
started official voting yet. We are in the process of doing our preliminary voting, which means we are narrowing down the nominees. We would like to make it fair for everyone. So that is why we are doing preliminary voting, to include everyone, but then narrow down for the official voting. So once the Christmas movie season is finished, we will be opening round 2 of preliminary voting, which will include all the Christmas movies and a couple more categories, which I can't remember right off the bat, but just stay on the lookout for that.
Yes. So I know those were so fun last year.
Yeah.
And pretty sure Kevin McGarry pretty much won every category. He was very high up in there, yeah.
I think he won almost every single one he was nominated in. Kevin and SSD were the big winners.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Andrew won for his Christmas movie last year. And Nikki
That's
won
true.
for
And
Miracles of
Nikki.
Christmas.
Yep. This is true. This is true. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up here. Looks like Morgan's having some oh, there she is.
It just like kicked me off. I don't know what was happening. I don't know if it's because of the storm or what. But
Or if
back.
it's because, or if it's because technology hates us.
I think it's a little mix of all three.
There we go. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we love this movie, definitely in our top favorites, and we'll be back, as Morgan said, with our next movie, which will be My Southern Family Christmas, which Wes Brown, I loved seeing him in that one as well. But yep, we love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Y'all.
Thanks for tolerating all of our craziness and our technology glitches and everything else. And if somebody can help us with that, please do. But anyway, in the meantime, we're just going to keep doing what we can do. Bye, guys. We love you.
Bye.